everybody, and welcome to Scythe and Shield, a GrindExp Diablo 3 podcast. I am Dr. J Dredscythe, and I'll lead you on this adventure through great discussions with great people on larger topics, but as well as digging beneath that sometimes hard to pronounce BattleTag that some people have, and get to know them on a little bit more personal basis. So today I dip my toe, figuratively of course, into the realm of hardcore, this place of ever-impending death by monsters and lag spikes alike, not for the faint of heart, even myself, admittedly. So of course, yeah, my two special guests don't shy away from this never-ending death trap, but embrace it, rallying to the cause of Sanctuary. True heroes among men, leaving demon blood in their wake with a smile on their face of a good job done. All while running to the next challenge and for the next thrill that they get to. So with that, I welcome Cybrwolf and Ninepad to the show. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Howdy.
So, guys, what's been going on? How has your been traveling's been? Hopefully none, if the fewest deaths possible, since we are talking about hardcore. How's everything been going? Start with you, Cyber.
Things have been going pretty well. In game, it's been about moving a softcore character into hardcore, via deleting and rebirth. Real life is, well, mundane and boring, and that's why we play D3.
Excellent. Not bad about you.
Oh, real life is same old. Doesn't change too much as far as hardcore or D3 goes. Yeah, spending most of my time in hardcore. Haven't lost any characters since ROS started, and knock on wood. Just enjoying the game.
Excellent. I guess just kind of a one-off question I have is that I know you guys were in the PTR, but I don't think either one of you were fortunately able to be in the Friends and Family or the closed beta. So I guess this is a general question before we get to the actual interview part is, how was it playing the same game you've been playing, but with all the new monsters and the new FXs and having to get out of the mundane, I guess, day-to-day routine of Diablo 3 and actually relearn? Like, how was it for both of you? Start with you, Navet.
Oh, it was pretty easy. Jumping into adventure mode and everything after we finished the campaign. Wasn't too bad of a change. I mean, it was great. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Haven't had to change my builds too much. The Demon Hunter is has much more survivability now, with the way that the changes they made to brooding. It's wonderful. I don't have to fear disconnect as much.
Excellent. And Cyber, how have you been faring?
I've really been enjoying it. The changes to all the classes, which I do play all the classes, have been a lot of fun to learn. All the variety of skills, the new legendaries that are dropping, it has changed my desire, how much I want to play the game.
That's a great thing. Yeah, I think I've been having the same kind of feelings, even though I'm still playing my dirty softcore wizard and all. There really has been like a reignition of the flame to play this game on a daily basis compared to, okay, some people are on, I'll play it. Oh, look, I have 2 people on my friends list. Okay, I'll play with them. Versus like now where it's like always a full clan list, let alone a friends list and everything else like that. So it's quite it's been quite a flipping of the switch, I would say. So with that, let's since got both of you on, and we want to get to the heart of the matter, which is the state of hardcore. Let's get right into part A of the interview. So I guess we'll always go Ninepad and then yourself, Cybrwolf, unless I feel like switching it up. In which case, I'll let you guys know. So, Ninepad, what's the history behind your name? However, you know,
Oh,
truly
how it
mundane
came about
or
my
where
battle
it came
tag?
from. Yes.
Oh, I accidentally removed a portion of one of my fingers at work, so
Ooh.
thankfully it was only my left pinky. So just
Ouch.
the only thing it really annoys is like hitting control is sometimes awkward, but other than that, or hitting shift, doesn't affect gameplay too much.
See, folks, these are hardcore players.
Exactly.
And Cyber, yourself?
Cybrwolf was an old handle I used to use back in the days of the Commodore 64 BBS scene. I was a fan of William Gibson and Neil Stevenson novels and a variety of older sci-fi, and before the 90s when the term cyber became attached to everything, I had been using it and have kept it ever since.
Wow. And here I thought it was because you were. I thought it was your hacker name.
Yeah, I always thought about that too.
Well, the reason it's spelled strictly with 8 characters is because back in the old days,
Yep. You can only
that was
have
the
8.
limitation on a username.
Headaches of being too nerdy, but I totally get it. And more importantly, I understand it. I think that's the more important aspect of it. All right. All right. Now, I only ask this, and you can even lie through your teeth if you want. You have full permission. How old are you, if you dare? And what's your profession, or your work, or your study, or all three, if you care, to provide?
Oh, that's right. It starts with me. Yeah. How old am I? I am 33. And I work in a cabinet shop,
Oh,
which is
interesting.
how I lost my finger.
We're putting one and one together. Now, I'm sorry, Cyber. Before we get to you, I have a question because I'm a AutoCAD drafter and I do other computer work.
As do I. Nice.
See, even I learn something new every day, folks.
Yeah, I run a CNC router. Draft everything in AutoCAD.
Oh, awesome! Yay! So now, when I come home from work and I say too much metric to imperial conversions, I'll have someone who understands my plight. And with that little tangent, Cyber, same question to you.
44 years old. I repair computers. I do desktop consulting for home users. I work with those dirty end users, going to their homes and small businesses, doing everything from fixing their networks, their computers, their Macs, their PCs, to plugging in grandma's printer that the cat unplugged.
Nice. Is it plugged in? Are you sure it's plugged in?
Have you restarted it?
Have you is it plugged into a power strip? Is the power strip on? Is the power strip plugged in? No? Plug it in. It works. That'll be $50. Please send a check to 123.
Without doing an entire dissertation, I had a customer one time, in all honesty, who thought he bought this wireless printer. He had forgotten it still needed power.
Oh my god.
Wireless connectivity, not wireless energy.
Exactly.
This is why I hate people.
Alrighty. Cyber will start with you on this one. We'll reverse it a little. Getting to a little more meatier questions. What was the first time seeing Diablo? Seeing or playing, whichever fits the bill. And was there a particular person that got you into the game? Or was it just yourself at the time?
There was no particular person that got me into it. One of my friends was mentioning games he had played, and he had mentioned Diablo, and I had never heard of it before, and this was back in 1995. So I picked up a copy and proceeded to play D1 on my Power Mac 6600 pizza box. Some of your audience members may remember.
I don't. And I have a... No, I don't. I envy the beginning days.
I played D1, 2, and contrary to how most people played D2, I had never played either game online.
That's interesting.
I was one of those very odd people who played it solo offline, and then only after I had had so much time invested in my characters found out, oh, you could play it online? Oh, but you have to create a new character? I was like, oh, forget that. I'm not about to waste all the time and effort I've already got in the characters I had on my system, so I never bothered.
All right. And just to, again, briefly restate the question, Ninepad. First time seeing and or playing Diablo, and again, any particular person?
Actually, there's a couple of people. I have a part-time job also that I work some nights and on the weekends, and a couple of people there were all excited about when Diablo 3 was getting ready to be released, and so they got me a little hyped up. I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. I had never played D1 or D2. But yeah, they got me pretty hyped up about it. I got kind of excited, and so I went ahead and got it, and I was just in the process of building a computer, so I went ahead and got that all finished, and sat there anticipating the game release, which sadly I couldn't log on to until like 6 o'clock the next morning, but they apparently got in right at midnight, and they were all freaking playing all night. I'm sitting there all jealous, you dirty buzzards. And that's my first experience with Diablo 3. Or with Diablo. And I have thoroughly enjoyed every minute of it.
That's good to
Except
hear.
when I disconnect and die.
We may touch on that later. in a little bit, actually. It depends what questions I pick for the round robin. But that's also a good lead off. And for the next question, and again, we'll start with Cyber and move back to you, Numpad. Since you guys have been playing for a while, and especially been playing the hardcore aspect, what has kept you going playing Diablo as not just Diablo 1 or Diablo 2 or Diablo 3 and now Reaper of Souls, but what has been kept you playing Diablo as a whole throughout its very lengthy time period as being a Blizzard game, from when you started till now?
Well, when it comes to Diablo 3, I have been playing since the day of release, although I did have a couple of, well, we'll call them angry breakups with my frustration over the auction house and the loot drops. But ultimately, the reason why I've stayed with D3 is because I knew they were going to eventually get things fixed. That and the Shattered Soulstone community that I've been a part of for most of my game time.
Awesome. And full disclosure, people, yes, Shattered Soulstone podcast is a great podcast. You should go to www.shatteredsoulstone.com. They have great podcasts. Just did episode 61. They pimped out Scythe and Shield number 3, so I'm giving Nevik a temporary shout out right in the middle of my podcast. Be happy, Nevik. All right, Nampad, same question to you.
I've forgotten what the question was. What was the question?
What has kept you going playing Diablo as a whole, the whole series, for as long as you've been playing it till this point?
Well, mainly for me, it's just been D3. I did play a little bit on D2 after D3 released, but mainly for Diablo 3, it's been the Ragdoll. Yeah.
Gotta love that moon physics.
Yep, it's all about watching the monster go flying straight up in my screen. It's quite hilarious. And I will go with Cyber on the Shattered Soulstone community. Actually, that's my first when I first started playing hardcore, because when I started listening to the podcast, when I finally found it, I started listening, and then they were talking about the Mumble server, so I went on to check their website out. And went over to the Mumble server, and everybody was playing on hardcore because the economy was so bad on softcore, and they were just kind of all fed up with it at the time. A lot of them were playing hardcore, so I jumped on and instantly fell in love with the constant threat of disconnect and death, or just the threat of death through stupidity, which has happened a few times. I don't know. It's addictive.
It's kind of like would both of you say it's kind of like being a stuntman, the adrenaline rush, and even though they always rehearse these things and plan them out, there's always still that small possibility that you may die. Would you call that equivalent?
Yeah, I guess it gives you. I mean, I've definitely gotten my heart racing. You watch your screen go red. The other night I was playing my Demon Hunter and my screen actually went red. It scared the heck out of me. It scared the heck out of me. Was quite concerned.
Yeah, absolutely. The fear of death is quite the adrenaline rush, because as soon as your screen starts to change color, you're going, I'm gonna die. There's no way back from this. I don't want to create a new character.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want to start a level 1 again. I don't want to have to kill the orc for the 20th time.
And then as soon as you get back to a full screen and get back to town, you go and start rolling a new character for a backup.
The paranoid backup.
That's why I started rolling a Crusader the other night after that happened. Like, well, I should have a backup.
Yeah. Alrighty, and the last question of this of part A is, now let's try to keep this short because there could be a lot. This is almost like a half-loaded question. When it comes to Diablo 3 and more importantly Rebirth Souls, because it's out now, what is your biggest wish for the franchise going forward? Like, biggest wish / outlook going forward. We'll start with you, Cyber.
What is it going to be? I want a 7th skill slot, or at least the Necromancer.
Awesome.
Oh, you're looking forward to the next expansion?
What's your greatest wish for the series going forward? Or, like, what would you like to see, I guess, would be another valid version of the question.
Well,
go ahead.
I was just going to say that apart from those two things that I really like, just the continued development of the loot and drop system that they've been implementing is just it's just amazing. I want to see them keep that up and take it forward.
Yeah, I second that one fully. And not bad. Back to you.
What he said. That and increase the amount of gold that I get, please.
Oh God, yeah, horrible.
Well, when I get 11,000 gold from doing a bounty, and then I go to town and repair for half of the cost of it, and then I have to wait to try and pay 200k to roll a gem, a base level gem to the next level. The gold. They need to increase the gold drop a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll do that in like a month.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't know. My conspiracy theory is that they're trying to weed the gold out of the economy from all the people that are sitting on billions of gold, but I don't know.
And I'll step behind that because they knew people were going to be buying tons and tons and tons of gold before the AH went down, so they have to try to bleed it out.
Yeah, but it kind of sucks for the hardcore community, where there was no auction house to buy gold off of. You just have what you have, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, that's why we're doing this podcast.
True.
So we'll get there shortly.
Ooh, the gold farmers.
All right, with that, we move into the ever increasingly fun part of these podcasts, a little more lighthearted tail end of the interview section called the best of times and the worst of times. So the way this is going to work, and we'll keep this stringent, we'll go 9pad first, and then we'll go Cybrwolf second, is I'm going to cherry pick probably 6 to 8 questions, and they're just going to give me their answers right off the bat. This section is meant to go quick, even though sometimes those answers can get quite long, but we'll keep it as short as possible so we get on to the main subject at hand, which is the state of our core. So with that, which questions do I pick? I have a whole separate master list for this. It grows. It gets fun. All right. So again, starting with 9pad and moving on to Cybrwolf. Alrighty. So, what is your favorite class from any Diablo series game?
Demon Hunter.
Barb.
All right.
Ooh.
What is your favorite plot moment from any of the Diablo game series? Plot or plot twist, whichever one you like to prefer.
Oh, that's difficult. I was
You
not
can do-
expecting Deckard Cain to die to butterflies. That was probably the the most unexpected.
Alrighty.
And as far as for my favorite moment, lore-wise, out of any of the Diablo series, honestly, the death of Marius from D2.
All right. Moving along. Now, since this is a hardcore episode, and this may be a sensitive one, but it has to be asked. Worst character death. You can take 2 or 3 minutes for your stories if you need.
Oh, mine's definitely an easy one to answer. I had a vacation between Christmas and New Year's off of my job, and I decided that I was going to go ahead and run my Witch Doctor that I previously had stopped playing because I didn't really want to see her get disconnected and die before the release. But I decided that I wanted to go ahead and get a character to Paragon 100 before the new game came out. So I decided I was going to take that week and just finish running my Witch Doctor up to Paragon 100. She was currently at Paragon 70, I forget, 74 or something like that. 75, I think. Ow, that hurts. So I started playing her, played her most of the first day, and disconnected. Got to Paragon 78, disconnected and died. That was my worst death.
My worst death was a Witch Doctor as well. I had lost my first Witch Doctor and was leveling a new one. I had just finished killing the Siege Breaker in the campaign, and I was just hit level 60. Very excited, going, yes, got him back up. Gonna port back to town and put some of the gear I had on him. And I don't know how many of you remember, but whenever you kill the Siege Breaker, there's a doorway. You go through the doorway, and it starts a cutscene. I figure, I'll watch the cutscene. It's only a couple of seconds. I haven't seen it in a while. Cutscene finishes, and I'm dead. No warning, no you're being attacked. I'm just dead.
All right, we try to keep this PG-13, but I think this must be said. That is fucked.
Yes, I raged for quite some time, and for the first time ever, actually went to the forums and complained. Submitted a ticket and never heard anything back. Sucked it up and moved on.
I think it would have quit the game at that point. I mean, like death by cutscene. Like what? Cutscene crits you for 6 million damage. Move along. Alrighty. Next quick question. Most anticlimactic legendary item identification.
Just one?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I got nothing on this one. I've had so many anticlimactic legendary finds that I can't even single one out. I think I blocked them out of my memory. I'll leave this one to Cyber.
Oh, I think it's simple. I think everyone, regardless of whether you played softcore or hardcore, would agree with me. Finding a legendary ivory tower.
It's anticlimactic even before you identify it.
Yeah, as soon as you see it hit the ground, you're like, "Aw."
Like maybe the monsters can use it better than I could. Yeah.
Now you know why the monster died.
All right. Next one is next class to become playable: Necro or Druid.
Oh, which one would I like to see?
Yeah, if you had the master pull switch for one or other.
Necromancer.
Yeah, I think I'd prefer the Necromancer as well. Although, since I never played the Druid in the earlier games, that could be interesting. Because isn't that the shape changer class?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that could be really interesting. I wouldn't be unhappy with that.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of leaning that way too, but whatever. Who knows? Maybe we'll get both.
Yeah.
Shocking. Who knows? All right. Again, since this is hardcore discussion, this has more chutzpah behind it, I guess. What affix combination just makes you go nope, 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 and teleport away, 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 far, far away?
Waller, Frozen, Fire Chain. For some reason, Fire Chains just hurt worse than Arcane Enchanted right now. Fire Chains do a lot of damage to me.
And
yeah, I think right now it's a toss-up between Arcane Enchanted Frozen Waller and Thunderstorm Electrified Waller Frozen.
Pulsing Orb. Oh, I hate that thing.
It pulses.
It hurts. And it chases you, darn it. It's not fair. I can't get away.
It's like a bad game of hide and seek. It's like the worst game. Actually, no, I take that back. It's like the worst game of tag because it's always it, and you know it's always going to get you.
The sad part for me regarding the whole affix conundrum is that I know I should try to teleport away when I see those combinations of affixes, but part of me is just like, no, I'm gonna beat these guys this time. Most of the time I do, but every once in a while it leads to my death, and it's just like, I really should have just checked out.
Oh, that reminds me of the time I was playing the game with 3 wizards. One of them was Cybrwolf.
Yes.
As soon as we get into the public game, everybody goes to the Festering Woods, and as soon as I come through the portal, all I see is Ice, Arcane, Enchanted, and Waller. Immediately turn around with my Demon Hunter, run the other way, and then see 3 wizard bodies fly over my shoulder. And all 3 of them just got wiped instantly. Oh, it felt so bad for Cyber.
The imagery.
That's exactly. I can see it in my mind right now. Just seeing the 3 bodies flying through the air past me.
I can still remember my exact position on the map and what the map looked like when I died.
Oh yeah. That's something I'm not gonna forget for a while.
The war memories. Nom. All right, and the last question of the rapid fire round is Oh, I did that one already. We'll go with this one since we're actually doing pretty good on time. I call this. It's actually kind of like a three-parter. But you'll understand when I say it. I call it Class Wars. So, Witch Doctor or Wizard, and then the second part is Crusader or Barbarian. I think you see where this is going. And the last part is Demon Hunter or Monk.
What was the middle one again?
Crusader or Barbarian. Basically, they're mashed up by their primary properties.
Right now, Witch Doctor. I haven't played the Wizard enough to know. I'm playing one right this minute, leveling one up, but I haven't played them extensively enough to know what they're like now. Used to run a CM Wizard back before. But so for right now, Witch Doctor and Crusader. I hate Barbarian with a passion. And then Demon Hunter.
You don't like the Barb Ice Smash I made?
I don't like the Barbarian. I don't think I'll ever be able to like it after dealing with the whole Whirlwind Barb situation of past. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's ruined it for me forever.
Oh, you mean the Battle Arena?
Oh, dear
builds.
God.
Okay.
Yeah.
Although Ninepad is loath to admit it, he's not hated the Barbarian as much whenever I happen to be playing one with him.
Yeah, but you don't. Yeah, you can't take away from them. I mean, the stereotype is still there, man.
True.
Alright, and same thing to you, Cyber. Witch Doctor or Wizard, Crusader or Barbarian, Demon Hunter or Monk?
I think for right now, I'm going to say Wizard, even though I'm really enjoying the Witch Doctor as a pet build. And between Barb or Crusader, I love the Barb, but I'm really enjoying the Crusader right now. Blessed Hammers is a wonderful skill. And between the Monk and the Demon Hunter, I still love my Monk more than my Demon Hunter right now.
Blasphemy.
Excellent.
No, that's definitely a hard one. I love the Monk too. The Monk was my main for a long time, mainly because of the squishiness of the Demon Hunter. But the Demon Hunter is so much fun now.
Yeah, that's probably the hardest choice between any of the class segregations.
Alrighty, excellent. You made it through. You passed the test. We have made it through the best times and worst times questions. Now, with that, we'll move on to the last segment, which is the main topic of the show, the state of hardcore. Now, this is where I'm gonna kind of sit back, and I'll let you two have. I'll give you two a figurative soapbox that you can stand on. I'd be interested to hear about your experiences of the last 2 weeks in hardcore. Do you find it easier to level up a new character, since that is a much bigger concern in hardcore versus hardcore? The gearing process, and just your opinions on the game itself. I mean, we're in a good time to give a proper review. So, I don't know. Cyber, if you'd like to start first, you may go.
As far as the state of hardcore goes, I think it's never been better. All the changes Blizzard has made to survivability is outstanding. It used to be that with any class you played, there was a good chance that you could feel like it was still easy to get one shot, and now that just doesn't exist. It is ridiculously easy to build up toughness for you to take several hits. And I find it ironic as a test that I've been able to take several characters, a variety of different difficulties, hard through master, take them out into the field and just let monsters beat on them for 10 seconds to test as a disconnect. As far as for the leveling process, the leveling process is excellent. You could start level 1 on hard if you're playing bounties. Almost every time you complete 3 or 5 bounties, you'd be at another level.
That is awesome.
Yes,
Yeah,
if I had to add anything to that just to finish it up, I'd say probably there's almost no better time to play hardcore than now, since all of the changes have put into effect. Between the whole Sharagon thing that makes death a little less painful for all the work that you've put into earning Paragon points, because you maintain that after death. The biggest loss is just any of the truly epic gear that you've found once you've reached level 70 and are working at endgame.
All right. We have nothing else to add. Ninepad. Any of your thoughts and everything as well?
yeah, it's definitely a great time to play hardcore. I've actually noticed a lot of streamers have started playing hardcore. They used to just play softcore solely. Whether that's because of the lack of the auction house now or what, I don't know, but what was the rest of the question?
Oh, just like how your experiences with the leveling, is the gear progression satisfactory enough? I mean, they can always update it as they have been many times already. And any of your experiences over the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, the gear progression I think feels really good. It doesn't take that long at all to get your character up to where you can handle, expert, master. Not, didn't really take like a week to get up to where I could get into Torment on my Demon Hunter. Or Torment 1 with the Cyber, we were doing some runs the other day. So, yeah, the gear progression feels pretty good. The only, like I said before, the only real complaint that I would have at the moment, and it's really hardcore or softcore anywhere, is they need to buff up the gold a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely agree on that aspect. I mean, it's one thing to be admittedly well off on the gold department, but eventually you're going to spend it all one way or another. It's just a matter of time, like
Well,
everything
yeah,
else.
through the
in this
course
game,
of leveling 3 characters to 70, I spent 70 million gold. So, it goes pretty fast.
It's a bit much.
And thank God they've changed over the royal flawless gems on crafting set items, because crafting a set of canes, that's expensive when it's like 16 million per gem to craft it.
Yeah, I think there was the other night I was on the Mumble, we were talking about it, and just doing like getting it up to an Imperial, and then the next one after that for any crafted, like a Royal Imperial, it was like it would be like a mil just for the gem and the use and enchanting, and even that's a
it
lot of
adds
gold,
up.
but when you said like 16 mil for crafting, it's like, whoa. And the craft some of these things could be like 100 plus K just by itself, and then forget the amount of magic you need and the legendary. It's like, and this is the thing that crafting in general, the blacksmith, I don't think was ever fully there in the Friends and Family, little in the closed beta. I think it was like the last system that really got kind of finished and was put in the game at its gold state, like basically what was printed on the CD versus what was actually being tested and still finally tweaked and fixed the month before the game came out. So I still think they have quite a bit of adjustment in the blacksmith itself, and then giving people gold, because they want people to play the game, get their legendaries, but if you aren't getting the gold and you aren't getting the Forgotten Souls or other legendaries, you're stagnant by virtues of the game, not by choice.
Yeah, I mean, even when you do get the nice legendary, rarely are you going to get one that you're not going to want to, reroll a stat on it. And you got to have the Forgotten Soul for that too, and the gold cost just keeps climbing when you're doing that. And oh dear lord, don't get me started on the quivers for the Demon Hunter. When you go in there and reroll a stat, and there are like 30-some different things that it can roll as, you just don't even bother. You can't even reroll. It's just not even worth it. You've got to have, 30 Forgotten Souls if you got it, a 1 in 30 chance. Oop, that's ice. Yeah, it's not even. I haven't even tried to reroll stats on them. I just leave them as is.
Yeah. It's a little. Even though I understand how they've kind of shared the affixes as best as they could, they're, like you said, and I'm behind that, because it's the same thing like wizard sources or specific items. Like, ew, what? And most of the time it's like vitality.
Yeah.
No, I want to get rid of vitality. Life per hit.
Yeah, I feel like
vitality, armor.
You should be able to get what you're trying to reroll in case you're trying to reroll a stat higher, but it shouldn't be able to roll twice in the choices of what you're trying to roll it as. You shouldn't be able to reroll vitality and end up getting vitality and vitality as a choice. It's just messed up. And I've gotten that quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But at least that would increase the odds of you getting what you want when there are 30 different choices, 30 different chances to get something.
Because you'd be
15?
technically making
Yeah,
it
exactly.
15
Make it a little bit better. Right?
I can still do math. It's not Friday yet. My brain is completely dead. Alright, actually, this is... Even though we know about the change, since you two have been playing it so much, either one of you can answer. How exactly does, as I forgot who said it, share a gun actually work? Can you actually like delete characters and not worry about losing Paragon? Like, how does it actually work? Because I've never seeked a final answer on this. So, either one.
As far as I know, it doesn't matter if you delete the character or not. That was only pre-release of ROS. If you deleted the character, or pre-release of the 2.0 patch, right? Loot 2.0 patch, right?
Correct.
If you had deleted the character, you would lose the Paragon points from it if it had died. So as long as it was still in your dead heroes list or whatnot when the other patch dropped, Loot 2.0 patch dropped, you would get the experience from it. And then after that, I don't think it matters if you delete it or not. To the best of my knowledge.
It doesn't. I know this from personal experience because I had a completely full Hall of Dead Heroes. and I had...
Nice. Well, not nice.
Yeah,
Battle scars.
I take it back.
I had actually... I probably could have filled it up twice, but I only kept the highest level characters that would gain me the most earned Paragon points. And then after the Loot 2.0 patch, I did delete all of those characters. So all of those dead characters were then gone because their points had been counted. And sorry about the the points just count, so it doesn't matter if you have a hardcore character right now that dies. You don't have to keep them in the Hall of Heroes if you choose not to. The points are just earned, and they're forever on your account. There's no question of it.
Okay, I feel better now. I understand how that works. I feel like a little less of a noob knowing that now. All right. Well, believe it or not, we're almost at the end. So, starting with Limpad, if there's any other lingering thoughts or ideas or discussion points you'd like to bring up, feel free to bring them up right now. Like it could be on hardcore or really anything at this point. We've gone over the main topic, so if there's any little last lingering statements or words, feel free to state them now.
The only other thing I would like to see them do is, slightly increase their chance for getting a Forgotten Soul when you do a Rift at the end. On lower, like, normal through Master. Because it feels a little bit low and it takes a long time. If you're getting a legendary like every 3 hours or whatnot, which I usually get more than that, but it takes a long time to get up enough Forgotten Souls to be able to reroll stuff. especially when you're getting vitality and vitality and vitality.
Oh, okay. So not armor,
Yeah.
lift per hit.
I usually get with the triple vitality myself, but yeah, that's about it. I'm pretty happy with everything else, other than gold and Forgotten Souls. Everything else feels good. Feels great.
Alrighty. Cyber, is there any last thoughts or statements you would like to add that we may not
Yeah,
have
actually,
covered?
in regard to hardcore regarding ladders or seasons, as they're going to be called, I'm actually looking forward to hearing more information about them because talk of seasons only legendaries and whether those items will ever, if someone doesn't play seasons, whether the items that are added as exclusive content will ever be migrated into the general populace without having to play.
I hope not.
I hope not either, because then there's no
It
incentive.
should be that special thing that you see somebody else using, like, oh, I didn't get one of those.
Yeah, and I feel we actually discussed this on the Grindcast we did yesterday. Since they have transmog now, really awesome transmogs, really almost overly done pieces of armor, like whole sets, would be a
That would be
good
cool.
incentive.
Yeah, like
to
getting
do
a special
season.
transmog plan, like you did for getting the I guess the digital deluxe, or was that just for every pre-order?
That was for both digital deluxe as well as the physical collector's editions.
Okay, I didn't know if that was also for the digital deluxe. I know the wings were.
Yeah. We felt that would be an awesome thing to do. Like, just something totally overdone, so you're like, what is that? You go, I got it from a season, like,
They need a
that
rainbow
is
one
awesome. What's a season? And then they ask, what's a season? And you tell them, and then they're automatically making a new character within 2 minutes. Alrighty. So, with that, we have reached the end of the show. Again, you can reach our fine guest here. Nightpad, where can people reach you? Or you totally be like, either one of you could be totally like, no, I'm staying incognito. I'm independent. But if you were willing to let people contact you in there, where could they get you?
I mean, I'm on Twitter at 9pad Gaming, and that's the number 9, of course.
Yes, because we all have to be difficult.
Well, no, it's just easier to do. It's there's one thing I do wish that Blizzard would do. I wish they would let you use a number in your battle tag. Like, really? Why not? Come on. Tangent. Yeah, you can't use a number. That. So yeah, at 9pad Gaming on Twitter, and yeah, that's about it.
All right. Cyber, where can people reach you again?
If anyone's interested in following me on Twitter, I'm at Cybrwolf0. That is the number, not the word. Spelling on that, of course, is classic 8 characters. CYBR Wolf.
Alrighty. So, again, this was Scythe and Shield. You can find these on the YouTube of GrindExp. You can reach us on our Facebook, which is also GrindExp. Twitter at GrindExp. I say this every time. You see the correlation, folks. Not that hard to find us. Go on that Google. Use it hard. And short little announcement. All 3 of us will be in Heroes shortly. Yes, we will be streaming Heroes of the Storm. Even though it's going to be pretty damn hard not to stop playing Diablo 3 at the same time. I'm going to need another clone for stuff. But anyways, I'd like to thank my guests, Ninepad and Cybrwolf from the Shattered Soulstone community for joining me for this discussion on Hardcore. And we hope you have a good night. And see you next time.
Bye, folks.
Bye.